Good morning, everyone. Thank you. First of all, thank you for joining with us. And my name is Arsha, second year MSW student, Bharathias University, Trichy. And this is our 25th webinar, which our Department of Social Work is organizing. And I'm the organizer of this webinar. And let us start the session. And we are presenting a one-day webinar on the topic Opportunities and Scopes After Finishing Social Work, Masters in Social Work. And thank you all of you for joining with us. And we don't have much time to waste, right? So let us start the session. And before that, I would like to invite Dr. R. Mangaleshwaran, Head and Professor, Department of Social Work, Bharathias University, Dr. P. Ilango, Professor, Dr. J. O. Jarida Nyanajane Elju, Assistant Professor and Organizing Secretary of this webinar, Dr. D. Nirmala, Dr. N. Rajavil, and our Honorable Chief Guest, and our guest faculties, Dr. M. Suresh Kumar, Dr. R. Karthikeyan, Dr. R. Selvamani, and the research scholars of our own department, and dear first and second year students of our department, and finally, you all the people, all virtual participants who showed their interest in registering and joining this webinar. Thank you so much. So next, I would like to hand over the session to J.O. Jarida Nyanajani Ilju ma'am. She is the organizing secretary of this program. I would like to call you ma'am for a small felicitation note. Thank you. Over to you ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Arsha. Yes, really I'm much happy to conduct this webinar as our community organization program. And because, Bharathias University was the first institution to start webinars during this pandemic and lockdown. And, our students, as part of the fieldwork program, they were requested because we cannot go out and carry out some of the activities as a regular thing. So we thought of giving them some assignments like conducting webinars. So our students are doing very well. So at this juncture in this address, I should really thank our professor and head, Dr. Mangaleshwaran, for changing the scenario in the department and making it highly technical. And also I should thank our senior professor, Dr. Ilango, my teacher. And I should also thank my colleagues in the department, Dr. Nirmala and Rajavel, and the teaching assistants, the pillars of the department, Dr. Karthik, Dr. Selvamani, and Dr. Suresh. And also, at this point, I would like to mention about the work done by our MSW students, because they are well cooperative in nature in writing the examinations and doing the fieldwork requirements. So maybe as a faculty in the department, and with a little bit of experience in teaching, we would have come across I would have come across many students passing every year and on. And now there is mushroom growth of social work institutions in all over India. So maybe every year, we can say like 1,000 students are getting graduated, of little more than 1,000 throughout India. So maybe what is the scope? What is the opportunities for all of them? And especially at this pandemic time, how are they going to find a job, and in what are the ways they can find a job? So this was in our mind, and this whole thing was coordinated by Harsha. I should give the credit to our MSW student, because our students are little hardworking, and they take it when we say to take one step, they jump 10 steps, and that is the scenario in our department. And I should also welcome and thank Mr. Subit George, and for being the resource person of this day and accepting to be the resource person to talk on this topic. Thank you so much. And yeah, and yesterday Dr. Vinay Raj was also there, and Vinay Raj is not new to our department, and I thank him also for that. And I could see a lot of students from Kerala as well as in Tamil Nadu taking part in this. Nearly the registration has gone up to 100. I think it will get little more also. So So I'm much happy because students are not wasting their time during this period of this pandemic and not able to come out of the house. But we are happy to know that the students are getting some information through these webinars. And everything is done with the support of the department. And once again, I should thank the professor and head of a department, Dr. Mangleshwaran, and also our team of people who coordinate all the work. So maybe I have a little bit of technical knowledge which I should accept, but more knowledge is are given by the students. Asha is little good, and we were just working together to do it. And Mr. Selvamani is the backbone of all these webinars. Dr. Milton, Mr. Milton is also another person who is with us, and each and every student in the department has contributed for the webinars that we have organized. And as a CO program, I think we are the first to do this. Students taking an initiative to do this. So maybe we are a little happy at the front of teachers, and we are also happy that we are connecting with DPOL. I think as a resource person, this is the first time, and maybe I have come for a conference in 2013 or 14, I believe.
14,
So
14,
that
yeah.
time, 14, yeah. So a little acquaintance is there, but I'll try to find some more opportunities to visit DPOL, and that is the thing. And thank you for accepting our invitation, Mr. Subin George.
Yes,
And
yes, thank you.
over to Arsha.
Thank you, ma'am. Those were wonderful words. And okay, now I would like to introduce our chief guest to all people. And he is Mr. Subin George, MSW MPhil, PhD, pre-PhD, and he's a social work educator, trainer, and as well as an author of the book School Mental Health and Social Work Practice. And moreover, he is a research scholar focused on reflective learning in professional social work practice. And he contributed so many articles and papers to social work field, invited as a chief guest for many webinars, and organized many international and national conferences, seminars, and he done many visits to other countries like Australia as a social work educator. And now he is working as an assistant professor at DePaul Institute of Science, and he's actually a skillful person and owned his own YouTube channel called Subin's Skill Room. And we're so happy to be here, sir, to welcome you, sir. And so here I heartily welcome our chief guest, Sir Subin George, for handling the session. And I wish you all happy learning. Good luck, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Asha. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Perfect, sir.
Yes, yes. On the very first note, I would like to thank Dr. Jarida. We had met in the year 2014, as she mentioned. I'm happy and glad to be part of this session. I thank all of you, especially the whole department of Bharathidasan School of Social Work, for giving us this opportunity to be part of this beautiful webinar. It is a beautiful topic. And I also know Professor Elango. Is he here? He's not here. Okay. So, yeah. So, Jarida ma'am, hi. We will definitely meet in the coming years with different engagements of social work. Glad to see you after a long time. Okay. So, let us begin. We were asking, I think, Arsha, by the way, Arsha, I should tell the activeness and the coordination of the students. Arsha was contacting me from last week onwards. She has been behind me on the topics and areas to be covered and all that. Very responsible student. I'm appreciating all the teachers of School of Social Work of Bharathidasan University, because it is because of your molding and guidance to the students, these students become these much responsible and dedicated. Arsha was very maturely talking to me, very professionally communicating to me on behalf of the university. So I was so glad how matured all of you are, how professional all you are. So All the credit goes to your faculty members and the whole team who mold the students. Thank you, and hats off to all the students as well. Okay. So the organizers of this webinar, Bharathidasan, especially Arsha, was asking all the participants to mention your roles. Not everyone mentioned it, but most of you mentioned. Those who have not mentioned, please let me know what are you currently doing. Are you first year MSW? Most of you, I read, is first year MSW. There are a few final years. There are a few already passed out MSW. There are second semester students. Can those others of you who have not mentioned your role, we will be happy to know that, because we are going to know the opportunities. So once we know where are we can elaborate and explore more about from where you're standing to ahead. So which will help me and all of us to get on like that from where we are. So thank you for mentioning that. There are still participants mentioning it. Thank you for that. Okay. Coming to the slide. My dear participants, second year student. So you can use the chat box in between the session. This is not going to be a radio program. This is not going to be a monotonous session. I've been working as a placement coordinator 10 years. So though I'm experienced in this field, I don't claim that I'm a pioneer in explaining everything what we share today. So we all have resources. We can all share and add many things. So I want you to use the chat box fruitfully and effectively, so that let the session be very fruitful and active and vibrant as well. Okay, so let's keep going. Thank you for writing your roles in the chat box. So I always follow the chat box. Please use the chat box for everything we discuss in the coming slides as well. Thank you. Let's keep going. The social work, opportunities and future scopes. This is a fantastic title. After social work before the COVID and after the COVID, has made different phases. Now we are in the era of COVID and pandemic issues and all that. It has solved a lot of challenges in the whole world. At the same time, if we look at the pandemic through the lens of a social worker, we can see a lot of emerging opportunities came. This pandemic brought before us many of the opportunities as well, because we are, isn't it blissful or blessing that we are able to meet each other today, and that is because of the COVID pandemic. I never think we would meet all of you come to one particular journey physically together and meet each other and engage each other, but this has made now very easy to interact and meet each other. Social workers, when we think about social workers, it is like a family. All of us are now, all the 101 are now like a family members. We are all happy, though we have not met each other physically. It is like a family. We interact and talk each other like a family members. I think unlike other professions, we have that intimacy. When we meet a social worker, we have that intimacy and loving between each other. Okay, so that is very good. Social worker, you have two privileges, right? If you work as a social worker, you get two privileges. As all of us know, I am talking from a first year point of view as well. So those of you who have completed the social work, some other information would be quite older to you, but for beginners, it is the first slides will be very helpful. Okay, since we have diverse participants, such as first year student, final year student, those who are practitioners, professors and all that, let us try to meet the expectation of everyone, but within the limitation as well. Okay, so when we talk about social work, you get two advantages. That is what I was talking. The first advantage is we can all help people to become self-reliant. We can help people to help each other. That is one of the advantages, and you get payment out of it. Unlike any other profession, you can serve the community and serve the community by empowering them, making them self-reliant, and in order to make them self-reliant, we get payment. How beautiful, isn't it, right? So that satisfaction, that smug feeling of smug is such a beautiful thing when we live in this earth. So all of us know the difference between social service and social work. Maybe for the first year students who have just begun the social work, just one or two words on that. When we serve the community, it is termed as social service, and when we serve the community by serving themselves or by helping themselves, is called social work. So in the social service, we are just helping, and in the social work, we are just helping to help people become self-reliant. So those who are currently pursuing MSW will more explore about it in the coming sessions when you begin with your sessions. Okay. Now, do we all have a passionate area? We're talking about opportunities and scopes after MSW program. So do we all have a passionate area in social work? In social work, all of us know there are many different kinds of areas, right? Medha Patkar, we have heard a beautiful talk of her in the last day. Currently in Delhi, farmer strike is going on, and Medha Patkar had a talk last day. So she's a social activist. She's a role model of all the social workers. She is passionate in fighting against the evils of the society. So she doesn't bother the climate, diverse climatic conditions which is prevailed currently in Delhi. We know there is 7 degree or 8 degree of coolness, but she is there sitting, fighting against the the policy which is already up, fighting for the farmers. So she is passionate about it. When she is passionate about it, she doesn't bother any other external challenges that is coming which is pro. So are we all passionate? My question here is, are we all passionate in any of the things? We should all be sometimes passionate about our specialization or some of the areas like working with children or working with women or working with old age people. A few are very much passionate and interested in working with disabled people, especially able children or other category, working with community, hospital setting. Few are specifically exclusively interested in medical setting. A few others, on the other hand, would like to work with psychiatric setting, mental health setting and all that, correctional setting, human resource in the industrial setting. So these are very, very limited settings, and there are n number of settings in social work. So what are we passionate about? Here's a question we should all ask. I would like to cite 1 or 2 sentences from my experience of Australia, because when I was in Australia, not for very long, but quite short period of time, because of the international exchange program that our college in James Cook University has. The passion and the interest of the Australian students, this is nurtured from the childhood onwards. This is what I experienced, not I've read, but I have experienced. If we ask the kids who are in the Australia, they have a particular, passionate area. I'm going to study this. I'm going to do this. I will initiate this. So they have a very clear vision and aim, and they become independent even much, much before we become independent. So I think on that note, in India, we become independent, I think, a bit later. And I'm also still researching why our passionate area, specific, exclusive passionate area, is not brought in or nurtured in the childhood, because our passionate area, those who have social passionate area, is nurtured after 30 years of our living. Probably some others do have after 22 years, so it varies definitely. But a fixed, convinced, passionate area is nurtured even in the later years. So passionate area is very important when we step into a work. That is very important. Imagine we are passionate. Now my teachers in Rajagiri, I studied in Rajagiri, my MSW program was in Rajagiri. When I studied my MSW program in Rajagiri, my teachers told me, you should choose the specialization family and child welfare because you are good in working with children. And that was right. When I flourished and started working with children, I really enjoyed working with children. And I was now feeling, if I worked with women and not with children, how would be my feeling? Because you know, my interest is working with children, and I work with women or old age. How would it look like? So so that is one of the predominant point we should all think about. What am I interested in? Okay. Our teachers will definitely help you. Your faculty members definitely will help you to understand, you know, your passion. But for the time being, to get your participation also, I will be happy, or we'll all be happy to know your passionate area. Whether you said what we mentioned in the previous slide, or do you have any other passionate area? Please use the chat box and please let us know what are you passionate about. Do you passionate about working with children, or working with hospital, or you know, working with women or disabled, or a mental health area, or hospital setting, or a community setting, or human resource management? What are you actually passionate about? Can you use the chat box and tell all of us, all the teachers here, about your passion of working in a specific field? Can you use the chat box, everyone, dear participants? You can all feel free to chat, because as I said, we are all like a family members, though yeah, thank you, Niveka. Yes, though we have not met each other, this is a social work platform. We all, you know, all love each other, or intimate each other. So be happy, be enjoyable, feel free to interact. Okay. Not interested in industrial setting. Yeah, I'd like to communicate with the group. Yeah. Community development, working with hospital. Yes. Arati, I'm passionate work where psychiatric setting, old age, Milan. Interested in psychology. Very good. Psychiatric setting. Yes. There are still people. We'll all be happy if you could all use the opportunity to get to know each other. This is how we all get to know each other, right? There should be new areas. The COVID has brought new dimensions to the life, to the social work platform, to the social work areas. So you can all mention even that as well. Work with children, Dalit, working with Dalit, labor welfare, psychiatry, yes, first year student, yes. Yeah. So many varieties of it. Okay, I'm glad that most of you, or many of you, have HR field. Okay, many of you have chatted. Okay, I still encourage. There are even few to interact and get engaged, acquainted with the situations. Please be very active. Let us all make this session as a fruitful one. Making this session a fruitful one, it is not my duty or Bharatidasan's duty alone. It is our collaborative duty. It is all of your duty, all of our duty to make this session live. Because by participating actively, by engaging in interactions, we can make this session a huge success and beneficial in our professional career. Okay, so thank you for using chat box. Now, If you have, I'm continuing with the point, if you have a passionate area that, like most of you mentioned in the chat box, working with children, women, Dalit, psychiatry, mental, and all that, my suggestion would be to work within that passionate area at least for 5 years. I'm talking this from my 10 years of placement officers experience. If you work in a particular area, say children or women, etc., for 5 years, the advantage is that there are many books written on this, what I'm going to talk. If you work 5 years on it, you become an expert on that area. You become a very expert in that area. You can develop a lot of indigenous practice in that area. You can develop new models in that area. Imagine the other case. You worked 1 year with child setting, and you resigned the job. You stepped into a new career. You worked 1 year with women. You quit the job and worked 1 year with medical setting, then to some other setting. Where would we be going? So our profession, there is no wrong in shifting your career, definitely shifting your area of interest, but in terms of looking through the lens of professional growth, where would we all stand? Where will our graph grow? Will it be vertical or horizontal? So that question will definitely make us all reflect on our passionate area. And I know a lot of students who is only looking for salary in the very first year of their work. But finally, they end up in some other non-social work job. So as all of us know, it is very clear to all of us, so in the social work area for the freshers, in the beginners, 8,000 to 10,000 rupees. According, definitely it is different with different organizations, especially with the government agencies and non-government agencies and with the industries. But generally speaking, you get 8,000 to 10,000 as freshers in the very beginning, especially with the NGOs. So if we are only looking for money, you may not be satisfied with that job. So you get, what do you lose? Your professional growth is going to lose. The graph will never be towards the vertical point. So we should all have a passionate area. We should stick into the passionate area when we work at least for the 5 years. That is to expand our professional growth. And there are even students who are interested to initiate an agencies. I have last day, a student called me and said, I'm going to initiate a counseling center. So she is my student. She passed out 2-3 years before. She started a counseling center. So we were very happy to hear that. So there are many of you who are interested in initiating something. But the only lackness would be money or something like that. So after 5 years, so my point here is I'm continuing from what we already said. From the 5 years, you can even think about initiating your own platforms, your own interested areas platform, whether it is counseling or working with children, working with women, mental health, or any of those, your passionate area could be owned by yourself. So within the 5 years of time, when you work, you gain all the experiences within that area, and then you own up a social work institute. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it satisfying? So that is how our professional graph goes upward. Okay. This is just a simple question. Just if I ask you, if you're given money, just to know your interest, what do you youngsters, younger social workers think? Because you're all vibrant students. As students, we all have a lot of imaginations, a lot of things we are satisfied and happy, a lot of things we would like to work for, a lot of things. So what is happening around is making us irritated, especially harassment against women, harassment against children, and all that. So if you are given money, what institute will you initiate? What would you like to initiate if you're given money? Because most of us, money is the problem. You're given money by the government or by World Health Organization or UNESCO, UNICEF, anybody. You can initiate an institute. Which area would you like to? Harsha, there's a technical issue. Am I not audible? Hello,
Yes,
Harsha.
sir, perfect. Sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. So, my question was, if you are given money, what would you try to initiate in the social work field? Whether are you going to build an institute for especially children or women or hospital or poor family or empowering the disadvantaged? What is in your mind? Because we would like to hear from the younger generation. What is your thought on the upcoming social work opportunities and scope? What would you like to initiate if you're given money? My dear participants, please feel free to chat. We would like to hear from you. Can you use the chat box, everyone, dear participants? Yes, weaker section. You, Viveka, Milan, CSR. Okay, so you use enterprise. Milan is very innovative idea, because as all of us know, please chat. For the time being, let me talk. Those others of you, please do use the chat box and tell your interested initiatives. Please use the chat box. Yeah, development of children. Yeah, I'm coming to the point of Milan. I think my pronunciation of the name is correct, Milan. Okay. Social entrepreneurship, social enterprise. As all of us know, NGOs funding is drastically reduced. It is diminished like anything. Our country is going to go through, economic recession, and we are not allowed nowadays, like we were before, to receive the foreign funds. Most of the funding, international funding agencies have dramatically reduced their funding towards Kerala or towards any other states of India. So there, as a solution of lack of funding to NGOs, social workers have found social entrepreneurship or social enterprise as an innovative platform to work for the society. Okay, so that is a fantastic initiative. Now, okay, yes, sir, it's correct. Yeah. I'd like to initiate education. Yeah, very good. Anagha. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, there should be somebody else who are not even thinking about initiating something. That is well and good. That is not wrong. Everything is right here. So, but who are interested in developing institution can definitely okay. Especially able children. Okay, so glad to know your interest. Let's keep going. Now, when I asked you're interested initiations in the future, if you are given money, only very few of you mentioned your interest. Now, if I ask you, how do you understand which is my passionate area? How do you understand it? Okay, I'm passionate. I'm good in working with children. How do you understand that? I'm good in working with women. I am going to shine and excel when working with specially able children, or I will do good when I work with psychiatric setting. So how do you understand that? What is your thought on this? How do you understand? Definitely, our students, you can say, our teachers will tell you your interest area. But that is one way good, but at the same time, self-awareness is very important. Okay, we knowing ourselves, what are we, when are we happy on doing what we do? So are we happy when working with children, or are we happy when we read a particular note or article about children, or are we get excited when we to read the news on violence against women and fight for those evils? So, when do we become happy? on reading what or doing what. Our identifying our passionate area begins from there. It needs a lot of self-reflections going on, going in our mind. If I start talking about self-reflection and reflective learning, I may take a lot of hours. I'm not going to do that. But in one sentence, I should say memorization is never going to work in the working field. If you have 90% or even above 90% mark in MSW program, it is never going to help you in the workplace if you memorized all the theories and concepts, principle, etc. of social work and got this and obtained this particular mark. This is an era of skill gaining. This is an era of doing actions with what we learned in the classroom. So if we are unable to integrate what we learned from the classroom to the workplace, our professionalism and the professional way of looking at things and interventions would be a big loss. So there comes the importance of reflection. We have to have a reflection and visualization of how we apply what we learn into the field. So evaluate our interests, analyze our skill. A dream which is unrealistic is not going to work, right? So it is easy to dream, but at the same time, we have to evaluate and analyze, do we have certain skills, innate skills to achieve our dream? For example, you're interested in working with children, and do I really have skills to work with children? We can all analyze, even with the help of teachers. There is another way of identifying our best area, our favorite area, our passionate area is, which subject do you like in the MSW program? Which subject do you like, or which faculty members you like most? Of course, you love everyone, but there is a point in loving your passionate area. Okay, if you love those subjects more in line with children or women or old age or human resource or community, or you feel happiness when you go through those particular subject, so those can be said as your favorite area. And have you written anything in the social media? I have a habit of writing in Facebook about reflective learning, how we should learn what we learn and all that. So do you have you written anything in the social media? In which topic did you write? So those things are all, if we critically evaluate from a social work lens, you get to understand your passionate area and your favorite area that you are interested inside in your mind to getting on while you started work, you start your work. Okay. Now, how many of you are interested in study after your MSW program? After the MSW program, we have many scopes for study. It is not necessary that you stepping directly to the work, but we can continue our studies. There are many who pursue their study. The first option is this. I must tell this because we're talking about the opportunities after MSW program, and I must tell not because of that alone, but when we were doing our MSW program, there was only limited people who said us there are these many options that we can all study after MSW program. So now we have this opportunity. Though COVID has brought and so a lot of negative stuff, this is a positive thing that we are able to meet each other and share and exchange knowledge between each other. So I would like to tell all of you, if you're interested to pursue your study, definitely you can do your PhD. I'm sure Jerida ma'am and other respected faculty members can definitely talk about this. There are many respected PhD holders here. So, how many years PhD is going to take. But let me tell you, UGC has recently came up with guidelines. the MPhil point, if you attend the government interview, is invalid now. You don't get much point. Earlier you were getting, if my memory serves me right, I think 2 points or so if you attend an interview for the government post, especially for the lecturers and all that. So I think that point is not there now. So MPhil is not mandatory if you need to do your PhD. Okay, so you can directly step into PhD after your MSW program, but each university has its own modalities. You need to have certain percentage of marks. You should have, either full-time. Some university expect students to do the full-time PhD. Whereas some others can do part-time. So all that is depending upon different universities and different guides. Okay. So the PhD is one of the options. I don't say if you're interested, you should not do MPhil. You can do MPhil, but in order to do a PhD, you don't want to do MPhil. But at the same time, I must tell coursework is made mandatory now. You must do coursework if you need to do PhD. Okay. And UGC NET is another option. After the second semester onwards, my dear students, I think most of you here are MSW first years, and there are even final years as well. Okay, dear students, you can definitely write UGC NET examination after you clear off your second semester. From the beginning of the third semester onwards, you can write UGC NET examination. If you can clear JRF, it is going to take you to the world of research. You are going to be paid by the UGC more than 30,000 rupees every month to do research. If you join in any of the NGOs, you may not get so much amount. So research funding is still, it is very high. So if you think you're competent in multiple choice question and finding out answer from all the right answers, the best answers, and all that, you can definitely work and train on getting JRF, SRF, Senior Research Fellow, Junior Research Fellow. Okay, these are all your options. And nowadays, we must talk about you can do a lot of courses through online from a popular famous universities. You can do courses from NIT, IIT, from JNU, from any of the popular national universities or even international universities through online. By sitting just at home, you can do a lot of courses. So it was there before, even before the COVID, but after the COVID, during this, in the midst of this COVID, the online learning has surged a lot. Now it has become a popular modality, ways of learning. So you can definitely do SWAYAM courses, MPTEL courses of popular universities. But when you do the courses, you must remember it should be done from a credible university. The university which the course organizers should be credible. It should be approved by the UGC. You must remember when you do that, when you do the online courses. Okay, that is another option, a study option. Okay, now, okay. Since you are MSW students, you are currently pursuing MSW. I think I'm taking a lot of time. Arati, you must stop me if you exceed time. Okay. Okay. Yeah, first year student. Okay, so this first year student, I think most of you are first year student. This is going to really help you. What would be certain expected skills to get a good opportunity after your MSW program? What would be one or two skills that you think will give us a good opportunity in the field of social work after your MSW program? What do you think? If I ask you one or two skills, even one would be enough, which is the most important skill or most important thing that you must learn during your MSW program in order to get a good opportunity after MSW program? What do you think? Just to take down some of your opinion. Your voice is breaking. Okay. Be an effective candidate, listening, observing. Thank you, Anukha. Anybody else? Naveen, case work. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Communication skill. Communication skill, observing. Okay. Thank you, dear participants, for having a very active interaction in the chat box. Communication, empathy, and so, okay. Keen in listening. Okay. Okay. Instead of, you can also, those who have not written or have written, I can also suggest some of the particular areas that you must learn. This is going to do good if you, when you start working. Yeah, planning, very good. Adaptation, exactly. Okay. Anything else? What would be the most important skill or area that you must learn while you're doing MSW in order to get a good opportunity after your MSW program? Setting boundaries. Okay, Niveka. It's just even let's keep going. Yeah, attachment. Okay, problem solving. Yeah, technology. Very good, Ajita. Yeah. Good interaction skill, Anaka. Yeah. There are few even yet to respond. We'll all be happy. All of us who are all the teachers who are here are happy to hear from you actually, because this is a family environment. We are all in this loop to freely interact each other. Yeah. Thank you everyone. So yeah, very good. Interview skill. Yeah. To get a good job, you need to have a good interview attending skill. Rapport building. Confidentiality. Okay. We feeling. Okay. And those of you who have not mentioned anything can think about it. What would be one or two skills that will be needed when you step into work? Okay, I have jotted down some of them here. Skills required for a profession in order to begin a professional journey in social work. Preparing a project proposal. Okay, you cannot say this is exactly a particular skill when we critically look through a skill point of view, but this is an area we must all learn. And when I say learn, we may say like the water flows to a bucket. That fast you might say the steps of project proposal. There are 14 steps of project proposal. Like the water flows to a bucket, you can say all the 14 steps of project proposal. But are we able to write a project proposal based on that 14 steps? That is where your practical knowledge is tested. That is where you learn what you learn in a way that you can practically apply to the field. So are we able to do that? Instead of just memorizing what we learn, are we able to put it into practice? Especially when we do our field work practice during the course. So project writing is very important. SPSS, that is one of the quantitative analysis software package for social sciences. So if you're interested in research and analyzing data in research of any other third party or your particular research or your working institutions research, SPSS software is going to definitely help you. This will be taught in the final semesters, depending upon the universities and colleges. So when you learn SPSS, you must learn in a way that you can use it in the future as well when you work. Okay. Preparing project implementation. we have a lot of plans. It is easy to plan a program, plan a project, but it is difficult to implement. It is difficult to plan a program which is easily be implemented. So implementation, those planning of programs which is practically be implemented is a skill. Okay, managing skill, coordinating skill, or then this one definitely you will study monitoring and evaluation. We have many varieties of monitoring and evaluation methods. Understanding this or inculcating the knowledge and theories of the monitoring and evaluation will definitely help you to grow professional when you work. Report writing, presentation. I think this is going to be 12 o'clock. I'm just running. Okay, planning, budgeting. We should have networking skill. Now this is a network. This webinar is hosted by Bharatidasan and by networking with Deepole Institute of Science and Technology. Okay, so when you do your field work, are you able to network with other related sister concerns? When you work, after MSW program, are you are you able to bring out a network, bring out collaborations with other agencies? Okay, these skills definitely going to help you to grow professional. Organizing training, this is a fantastic opportunity used by Bharatidasan School of Social Work students by hosting this beautiful webinar. So organizing training, workshops, seminars, and all that are the skills which must be nurtured and inculcated while we are in the MSW program. I'm just skipping this slide. Now, these are the practice areas. I think this will definitely help you. Arati, is this okay if I take 10 more minutes? I mean, not Arati, Asha?
Yes, sir, please, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So practice area of social work. Online counseling. From last March onwards, I heard Jarida ma'am, Dr. Jarida was talking, Bharatidasan University was the first university, in this year after the pandemic has begun a lot of online programs, online webinars and all that. So likewise, in the field of counseling, there has been a lot of boom arose. We know face-to-face counseling, we know different techniques, skills, theories, and strategies to figure out issues in the face-to-face counseling. Now, there has to be a lot of researches happening when we do an online counseling, because we are not able to see the clear face of the counselee. The counselors are not able to physically see directly see the client. So how do you analyze the client? How do you understand the client? How do you observe the non-verbal communication? So there are many theories and skills and strategies should be coming up in the coming years, because even after the COVID recede from our country, from the world, the online platform is not going to recede from the scenario, from this social work scenario, from any field. It will remain stable hereafter. So there should be a lot of researches happening in online, not only counseling, any online platforms. Milan said technology. In that note, technology researchers should be technology towards social development, towards community development, towards women empowerment, towards all the social work areas are very much important. There should be a lot of researches happening as well. Child welfare, you can all read this. Mental health, these are all social work areas. Those of you who find difficult to identify your passionate area, here are some of the areas. I don't say these are the complete areas of social work, but these are some. So you can go through this correctional setting, child protection services, counseling, therapy. They are able to provide therapy is a question, but definitely there are social workers who are doing therapy or who work as therapists. Consultancy services, elderly care, environment protection, family welfare and planning, human resource management, injustice development, medical, social work. Okay, who is that? Nalini. Okay. Nalini, I would request you to mute the audio. Okay. mental health, mental retardation, human rights agencies, mother and child, policy and planning, poverty eradication, people with special needs, rural and urban development, relationship problems, school social work. It is not school of social work, but school social work. Social work in the field of education, social work practice in the school with the school. 2 years before, our state government, our Kerala state, has initiated a program that there should be a social work in each of the government schools. Right now, that program is not running, but in the future, as all of us know, the new education policy 2020 is already in, right? In that note, I think, I don't remember the exact number, but the title social work is mentioned more than 40 times, I guess. I don't remember the exact number, but this policy has covered the role of social worker in many places in that policy. So the role of social work in the upcoming years, it is going to skyrocket. It is going to surge, flourish. Okay. Social research, social welfare administration, social work education, social development, working with people with disabled, youth, women, child, human rights, disaster management, addiction, substance abuse, and all that. There are even many practice areas, but some of them would be this. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you some of the designations that we see around us inside the state, inside our country. Okay. Straight away hitting to the point, government organization. Now we have government openings by the Ministry of Social Justice, Ministry of Women and Child, Ministry of Labor and Employment, etc. So there are even other agencies who are giving government jobs. Okay, even with the JJ Act, with the Domestic Violence Act, there are social workers' role. Okay, some of them would be in the government sector. We can become a government lecturer, in the social work department, professor, associate professor, assistant professor, lecturer, director, research officer, research assistant, welfare officer, development officer, in the child department, in the youth department, with women, with the labor officer, community development officer, a correctional setting, a welfare officer, counselor, a legal counseling professional, family court, there is a role of the counselor. ICDS, we know there is a lot of social workers working. Urban planners, there is a lot of social workers working. Research assistants, project fellow, general manager, trainee assistants, field investigator, and others. This is just a limited designations. There are even more. This is some of them. Okay. Now, when it comes to the non-governmental organizations, there are a few of these kinds: project director, program director, program officer, program coordinator, assistant coordinator, program assistant, project officer, community mobilizer, program manager, block, district, state, zonal, regional coordinator, counselor, social scientist, monitoring and evaluation officer, research assistant, area manager, fundraiser, social worker, supervisor, resource mobilizer, training coordinator, development professional, consultant, probation officer, medical or psychiatric social worker, school social worker, that is social worker in a school, team member, vocational rehabilitation. There are vocational training institute, especially in the hospital setting or with the child. Those who are working with autism and all that. There are vocational training centers as well, where social workers social workers do have a huge role. Counselor, face-to-face, online, all that. So these are some of the designations when you step into work through NGOs. Okay. Now with human resource management, we have a couple of designations here. Even there are other designations, but to mention some of them: manager, executive trainee, labor welfare officer, personal officer, manager, executive trainee. Corporates, multinational companies, they have CSR department, as one of you said. CSR department, they have to spend so much amount towards the development of the community, development of any of the particular sector. So community development officer, social development officer, rural development officer, social welfare officer, and a lot. Okay, this is a bit of a big thing. Okay. These are the top jobs project coordinator, professor, program coordinator, JRF, district consultant, documentation, communication, senior manager, regional coordinator, and all that. Okay, this is the last slide. Okay, this is 12A. Some of the reputed institute, international institute. We have CINI, CRY, those are working with child rights, child who are in need, rural development. We have HelpAge India, UNICEF, World Health Organization, UNESCO, and many other international organizations. So we have n number of opportunities. If I need to talk all the opportunities which are in the social work scenario, I will need the whole day to explain it. So we have so much of scope, and the scope is only going to increase in the future as well. So, so with this note, let me, if there is time, I want to have a discussion from Dr. Vinay to talk about international perspective as well, but only if there is time. Because he has experience in visiting other countries. So if you need to know the international opportunities, student visa or working visa, or even migrating to international countries after your MSW program, maybe he can talk 10 minutes if everything, if we have time, if everything is okay. But this is from my end. If there are anything else, you can definitely ask. Okay, Asha. Now we can use this time as discussion time, so that if Vinay would like to discuss anything, he can discuss.
Dr. Vinay saved it, sir.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, Subin sir. Yeah, it was a very good presentation. Yeah, sir was explained about all the opportunities in India, and we have a lot of opportunities in different parts of the world. Yeah, even especially we know Australia, Canada, New Zealand, then England also we have opportunities. Normally, after completing MSW, many students are going in two ways. One is they will be going after doing taking their IELTS. We have to take IELTS score. One option is that. Then we can go for student visa. When we get student visa, we can study there. After studying, we can apply for PR there. Another option is that we have to complete the formalities, like we have to do first IELTS. Second, we have to take respective nations social work updations and membership. We have there is a criteria that we have to go through some formalities. We have to get social work license there. Then it is easy for getting PR. So yesterday I was speaking to one of my friend in UK, and she was telling that there are many opportunities in government sector for child protection. The basic opportunities child protection in UK. So for that we have to take a social work membership in UK. So then IELTS is mandatory. Then she was telling that we have many opportunities in probation, even in child setting. There are many opportunities, and casework as a casework in Australia, Canada, and UK. There are many opportunities like casework. So we have to specialize in particular area. So we need it is not easy to go there, because either we have some experience in our own country, we need IELTS score, then we can apply. So main option is that if you are able to do your study in any of the country, you can take IELTS and we can apply for student visa. But after that, you can start working there. Even as a student in student visa, you can do part-time job there. So when you are taking huge amount of loan from our place, you will be able to manage with a part-time job. And after completing 1 year student visa, after completing that course, and the specialty is that when you are taking some course, you have to take based on our social work profession. Then it will be easy for you to get the PR, and it will be easy for you to get a job in that countries. So a lot of opportunities, and a lot of students are going to Australia, Canada, through a student visa, and later they are working in different sectors. So Subin sir was explaining some job titles like that. They have family case worker. So when you go to Australia, there will be more in family setting for family issues. So you will be known as family case worker. So you will be dealing with the family issues of the people. Then there will be child case worker. Child case worker means you will be only dealing with the problems of children. In family case work, you will be only dealing with the family settings only. Then there are many opportunities for homeless people. So when you are in Australia, there are many opportunities for working with the homeless people. So these are some main areas in Australia. In UK, you will be having a government job in child setting only. Child setting that government will be appointing. So that is they are paid very well. But the problem is that in order to get that job, you have to uh, cross some hurdles. So that hurdle is that you have to get best score in IELTS, maximum score you have to get in IELTS. Then you have to get the credential, like you have to get license from social work UK. In Australia also same thing. In Canada also same thing. New Zealand also many of our students from DPOL also many students have gone to New Zealand. They have gone for student visa first. They have done 1 year course in New Zealand, and after that they got a job in New Zealand, because if you are doing 1 year program in New Zealand, you will get 2 year, 3 year. You will be getting some course. You will get 3 year. Some will get 2 year. So you will get stay back. So when you are doing stay back, you can do full time. Then during that time, if you are able to manage to get some job in social work, because in New Zealand there is a criteria that you have to get some particular amount of payment from that job. If you are getting that much payment, you will be more eligible for getting a social work job in New Zealand. So after completing MSW, there are a lot of opportunities, and highly paid job is there in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and UK also. Like nursing students, social work jobs are there, but only thing is that you have to improve your language, you have to improve your experience, and not like medical and psychiatry. We have to focus in particular area. If it is, yeah, if it is child setting, you have to focus on child setting. You have to get the maximum experience in child setting. If you are focusing on aged people, then you have to get experience from that area. Then only you'll be getting. So these are some possibilities for students after completing MSW. One is in student visa, you can go abroad. Another one is you can get PR directly from here. In order to get PR, you have to get the score. Score you have to get. So getting score, you have to get maximum score in IELTS, and age is also a problem. So when earlier is better. So you have to you will get after MSW. I think these are just brief information about possibilities in abroad. So Vincent.
Yeah, yes. So continuing, just 1 or 2 notes for continuing with Vinay. As we already said, your passionate area is very important. If somebody is asking about PhD of going to a particular nation and all that, Vinay sir, you can look at the chat box. So
Yeah, yes, sir. That is
yes.
geriatric care. Actually, many of social workers are working in our Israel, because Israel they have many scope for geriatric, but it is not mandatory that we have MSW. But if you have any degree, also you can. Sorry. Yeah. So sorry. There is some. Okay. So Israel also we have possibility in geriatric care. Many of the social workers are working there. They are highly paid. Even in Australia, we have geriatric jobs are there. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you apply if you're going by student visa or working visa or even for migration, you will definitely be faced with a question, which is your area. So a particular area, even for doing PhD, I'm sure Dr. Jerida will definitely agree with us, because if If we go to Jerida Ma'am and ask we are interested in PhD, Jerida Ma'am will definitely ask us, which is your passionate area? In which area are you going to do your PhD? If you go to abroad, they will definitely ask you, why this course? Or why this area? Why psychiatry setting? Why is it medical setting? Why child setting? So we should have a justification for our passionate area. So in the Indian scenario, I must say we should have a passionate area. First of all, a lovable, so much interested area, which we can embrace with us and keep moving with that particular area, if possible, till we do our social work. Okay. I was just adding to what Dr. Vinay said. Anything else? Did I miss any question? Yeah, PhD, you will definitely, most of your first years, I think, you will get to know about PhD more in the last years. PhD, every university, we must understand there is a UGC guideline for doing PhD, which is very easily available in the UGC website. Every university has its own unique guidelines for doing PhD. So you will get to know about it after your course, after the MSW program. Anything else, Asha? Anything else?
Yeah, there is a question about PhDs. Actually, even you can study PhD in foreign countries, but the problem is that the cost is high.
Oh.
Yeah, that is the problem. Yeah, you will get, so even from here you can apply. You can search in universities. The problem is that the cost is high.
Yeah, exactly. If you need to know the cost, when I was in Australia with the James Cook University, there was an international student. His yearly cost was 30 lakh rupees per year, and the PhD program is for 3 years. So 30 lakh plus 30 plus 30 is the total cost minimum. If you are doing minimum period of time in the PhD, that is the minimum cost you will need to spend. But this particular person whom I'm talking about hasn't spent any amount because he had the 100% scholarship which was provided by the university. So there are various criteria if you need to get the scholarship to do PhD or any other course in various universities across any of the Western countries. Mark is a criteria, your experience is a criteria, your background is a criteria, and there are many criterias. Okay, Vinay, anything else? Or Asha, over to Asha.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It was a great session. And I think most of our questions were answered. Is there anything left? No, sir. And also, what are the scopes of medical and psychiatric social worker in the foreign countries? So, did you answer the question?
Yeah. So, like we have in the Asha, yes. Asha, you can move.
Yes, sir.
Asha, you can move. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So, like in India, I must say the most paid job in medical and psychiatry. Every specialization, there is a notion I used to hear from many corner of India. Many people from different corners from India talking like there is only scope for medical and psychiatry, which is a wrong notion. Do you think only India has the problems against women? Do you think there is only disabled people only in India? Do you think there is psychiatric people only in India? Do we think there is medical issues only in India? So issues are everywhere. It is across the globe. And wherever there are issues, there is scope for social work. And the respect and the privilege we receive when we work in a hospital setting in the Western nations, it is a huge. Our position is just after the doctor. You are respected like a doctor in the Western nations. If a social worker is respected like a doctor or just below the doctor in Western nations. Okay.
Okay, sir. One more question.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like to know about the opportunity of social work in United Nations Organization and other international agencies. One from Arati Prakash.
Okay. So if you ask me exactly I
Yes,
will have to.
sir. Yeah, normally in their website they will publish the vacancies. So
Yeah.
we have to go through this website, and we can apply. So many of one of my student, one of my colleague, classmate, he has got job in UN through like that only. So when I asked him, we have to observe these sites, and they will be publishing the opportunities in those agencies. So we have to
But
apply.
also,
Yeah.
and also, these guidelines are changing. Since most of you are in first year, everything is changing within six months. Now, if you take US, Trump is going to go, Joe Biden is going to come. So the rules will definitely change. As I heard from my friends who are in US, they said it is going to be more liberal than the times of Donald Trump. So most of the visas are going to be a bit more relaxed, and we will get more opportunities. But it is not a credible news as well. This is from our friend circle, but the credible things will come definitely in the website, as Vinay said. So at the time of your need, if you check those websites and international bodies, associations, we will get to know that time's guideline.
Same thing only as Subin sir said. Every year the role is changing. See, for in the case of New Zealand, every 7 months they are updating the criterias. So we have to. The main thing is that from here, if you are going, you as a MSW first year student, what you can do, you can start studying IELTS. So the major part is IELTS only. So if you get the more scores like individual 8 or like that, more than individual 8, so your credibility and your score will be more. So only thing you can do now is prepare well for IELTS. Then when you complete your MSW, you can just start your work, because it will take nearly 1 year, 2 year like that. Because some people get it within 7 months, but mostly people it will take 2 years like that for that processing. In between, you have to submit all the records. Then you have to go for everything, submitting the certificate and so on. So there are lots of opportunities abroad for social workers, but you need a decision to take go ahead. So you have to set a goal. I'll be planning after 3 years, so and so. Then based on that, you have to set. You have to know the ways, because every time there will be rules changing. So there will be a different agencies. Agencies will be knowing better than us, so they will be providing informations. Even we can get information from the website also. So every nation they will be publishing the website. It is not mandatory that we have to go through the agencies. Many are going by their own.
Yeah, similarly, somebody is asking what is a high payment? Just to crack a joke, high payment for me and for you, for Ambani, Adani, everything is different. But medical psychiatry setting, or in generally Australia, I know because we all went, they get 3.5 lakh per month. If you're working in a social work setting, you get a good payment. We all talk about more now this time about international social work, but we have a lot of scope in India as well. So we need indigenous social workers as well.
I would like to add one point on that.
Hmm.
It is not social work certificate gives us high paid job. It is our skills. Or if you're able to showcase your ability, you will be getting job. See, in Kerala and in India, if you go for an interview, you can notice that there are people ready for work with 5,000 rupees. So it is our skills. See, when we go for interview, there will be 50 social work people for job. Sometimes all other people will be demanding only 10,000 salary. They are asking expectation for salary. But if you are saying my expectation is 35,000, then they should feel that if they are paying you 35,000, what you can contribute to the agency. That is the importance of current scenario. Okay, so see, I have completed my MSW in 2012. So when I finished at 12, in my batch, many go for interview. Some people were working with 7,000 salary. In that same year, one of my student got job for 28,000 salary. So in abroad, when you go, so see, for example, I shared you in UK we have child setting in government job. There they are getting 3.5 salary, 3.5 lakh per month they are getting. So and um, at the same time in some other job they are getting 1 lakh. Like that difference is there. So so depend upon how we are able to showcase our ability. So skill is important. So you should be able to showcase your skill. So someone who asked in abroad how medical and psychiatry people getting jobs. So here only we will be asking CD medical and psychiatry HR. But in abroad when you apply, they will be having some title only. For example, child setting. So they will be asking how you are equipped with work for children. How what is your experience for child setting, and you have to produce police verification certificate. You have to produce that you are child friendly person. So without that they will not give job. So there are many criteria. So uh, be skillful yourself. That is the important thing. Okay.
Okay, I think Asha.
Yes, sir. We have more questions, sir. Shani Verghese is asking, what is the scope of geriatric care in foreign countries with sizable aging population, especially in the post-COVID days?
Yeah, yeah. That question has answered itself. There is a huge scope. Nowadays, there are, if UK is concerned, there is a lot of recruitment currently happening because they need a lot of social workers to work with old age people, to work with old age people. Nowadays, due to deficiency of the social workers, they have developed a post old age care where anybody can work with old age people, but not a professional social working is happening with the old age when non social workers are working with old age. But there is a lot of opportunity, not even with the social work, with medical setting, with community setting. There is a lot of scope with community development, with family setting, with child setting, women setting. Uh, you know, every areas do have a high scope. Like us, they are all all the needs of a particular nation do have the needs of will have the needs of other countries as well. India has certain needs, certain social issues. That issue will be there in other nations as well, but in a different intensity, in a different manner. So scopes are there. Every aspects, every areas do have a lot of scopes. It depends upon our interest and our passion. I still remain with the same point. Uh, if you ask me to wind up in one with by saying one sentence, I would definitely say we need to have our passionate area. That is definitely going to do everything that you will need in the to get a good job. Do not compromise on your passionate area. If you might get your first job with a good salary in different other areas, but never quit your passionate area, which is definitely going to do with your studies, with your job, with your dream to go abroad if there is a dream. So yeah, and rules are changing, like Vinay said, Dr. Vinay said. Okay, Harsha, I think it's time 12:30.
Yes, thank you, sir. To this time constraint, we have to wind up the session. And I would like to thank each and everyone who joined here. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. R. Mangaleshwaran, Professor and Head, Department of Social Work, Bharat University, and Dr. T. Ilandu, Professor, Dr. J.O. Jarida Manajani Ilju, Assistant Professor and Organizing Secretary of this webinar, and Dr. D. Nirmala, Dr. N. Rajavi, and our guest faculties, Dr. N. Suresh Kumar, Dr. R. Silamani, Dr. Karthikeyan, and our research scholars, and the first and second year MSW students, and the all virtual participants who are joined here. And I would like to give a great thanks to Subin sir, Mr. Subin George, and Xavier sir for this support. And actually, he's a very comfortable person to meet or to communicate. And thank you so much, sir. And Jarida ma'am, is there anything to after a final wrap up?
Nothing more. And from my side, I thank both the resource person, Mr. Sumit George and Dr. Vinay. And I didn't think that Vinay will also be giving some inputs. So that's nice on your part. And Dr. Subin, it was a wonderful session. A lot of interactiveness there between the participants and you. Thank you so much. And and you will be the resource persons for the future programs also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank